Assalamualaikum, Miss.
Waalaikumsalam. Can I have a seat?
Thank you, Miss. I'm sorry for interrupting you at this hour, but can I book an appointment for a counseling session? Because I would like to share my problem with you.
Okay, so yes, we can. But before that, may I know what is your name and what class from you are?
My name is Syamimi and I am from Tri Amanah.
Oh, okay. So since this is my free time, so I think that you can share your problem with me during this time. Okay. So, but before that, may I know you want to have a group counseling or maybe individual counseling?
An individual counseling.
Okay. So before we start our session, let me see Surah Fatihah first. Okay. Okay, you know. So whenever you're ready, you can share your problem with me. Ayuni, why you seem so sad? Are you okay? You can share your problem with me if you have anything that you want to share. Okay?
Actually, I am not really comfortable to share my problem with other people because I never share it with anyone before. I tend to keep it by myself, but it seems like I can't hold this anymore. Like because since it's actually has affected me.
Yes, okay. So if you think that you can share your problem with me, maybe you can share your problem with the person that close to you. For example, like you share to your family members, or maybe you can share with your friends. Okay, so maybe because if you share your story with them, maybe it will be more comfortable rather than you share your problem with me.
It's just that I don't think like I can share my problem with them because like I have mentioned before, I never share my personal problem with other people. So if I start to share with them, I just don't know how to start to share my problem because I am too shy to share it with them, even though they are my family. And I just think that nobody will understand me because they are not in the same situation as me.
Okay, Ayuni, so you cannot think this way because there will always be someone that can understand you, that can know you, and then they will understand your problems that you are facing. So all you need is that you need to share your problem with them, okay? Right, Miss?
She said, I don't know why, but lately it seems like I cannot control my feeling anymore. Even though I am with my family or with my friends, whenever my parents scold me or my parents ignore me, I will always fight them back. It's just that I feel like I am not myself anymore because before this, even though they are mad at me or ignore me, I just keep it by myself and tell myself that it's just my imagination or whatever. But right now I tend to be sad and I just can't control my emotion anymore. I feel really sad whenever my parents call me and I really want to cry about it.
Okay, you cannot do that way. Maybe because of your parents might be mad at you, ignoring you, maybe it's just your feeling. Maybe when your parents mad at you, there will be something that you do which is unnecessary things to do. For example, like you do not do your revisions, you not do your homework, okay? So the reason why your parents mad at you because of they love you, they want to see you success in your education. Okay, so for example, like you say that your parents ignoring you, right? So I think that it's just your feeling, okay? So when you just always feels that your parents keep ignoring you, you tend to have a negative thinking about your parents, right? So maybe if you think that your parents keeps ignoring you, maybe you can talk which is like you have a slow talk with your parents and just say what you things that it is uneasy for you to have this kind of feeling. Okay, so maybe after you discuss among your parents that they mad at you, they're ignoring you, and then the problems can be solved. So I think that you need to have that kind of discussion among your parents. Okay.
Alright, thank you, Miss, for advice. But actually, I'm also facing another problem, especially in learning. Previously, I have failed my science test, and this is actually my second time to fail in this subject. I feel very sad because I am the only one who failed in my class, and my parents are really mad at me because they have a big hope on me, since they really want to see me to pursue in this science field. And it's just that I already try my best, but yeah, I still fail in this subject, and I feel like I want to give up on learning on this subject because my motivation has decreased day by day, and this subject is too difficult for me.
Okay, so when you say that this subject is difficult for you, you cannot easily giving up by learning this subject. Okay, so when you think that this subject is really hard for you and you weak for this particular subject, you need to put more hard work. Okay, by learning this subject. For example, like if you think that this subject is difficult for you, you have your family members, you have maybe your siblings and also your friends. Okay, so your friends or maybe your classmate can teach you about the particular topic or maybe the subtopic that you not understand. Okay, so maybe you can ask your friends to teach you about that particular subject, and maybe after they have teach you, so you will be more understand about that subject. Okay, so you need to ask your friends or maybe your family members to teach you. Okay, so this is why it's really important to discuss among your parents and maybe your friends about what do you feel in your study.
I don't know why, but this is what I've been feeling right now. Before this, I really love science so much, since it is my dream and also my parents' dream to work in a science field. I already asked a favor for my classmate to teach me, but whenever they teach me, I still cannot understand the subject or the subtopic, especially when it's come to a chapter related to biology. There are a lot of things to remember because biology is a fact, right? And I didn't know how to make this science subject feel easier to me, because I have a mindset that I always think science is a hard subject. So I tend to feel, so it actually has led me to
the negative thinking.
the
about that
negative
subject.
thinking, and I still can't understand this subject because
Okay.
it's too hard.
So as you mentioned, it's all about your mindset, right? You always think that negative about that particular subject. Okay, so I think that if you have a positive thinking about this subject, for example, like you said that this science subject is easy, you love this science subject, so this will automatically open your heart, will open your mind to learn this subject. Okay, so for example, like after your friends already teach you about that particular subject, for example, the topic that you don't understand, for example, that related to the biology, you can ask them what things that you need to do, or maybe what things that they do in order to increasing their knowledge in this science subject. For example, you need to go to the tuition class, or maybe you need to do the revisions, or you need to do a lot of revision, and maybe you need to read more. So I think that after you already get some tips from them, you can follow and then you can implement it. So about the tuition class, maybe you can discuss among your parents about you when to attend that particular tuition class for this subject. Okay?
Alright, Miss. But sometimes I can follow what my teachers teach during the class, but sometimes it's just that I can't understand it at all, and this actually make me lose my focus during the class because I just can't understand the whole process.
Okay, so based on this issue, I can say and then I can prefer you to do some revision before and also after you enter that class. So maybe the revision before the class, you can study first about the chapter that you will learn on that particular day, and maybe you can come up with the mind map. So this will be easier for you to try when your teacher teach you in front of the class. For example, when your teacher teach you about that particular topic, and then you can focus it anymore, so you can have a look with your mind map, and maybe you can say that, oh, my teacher teach me on this particular subtopic, so then you will become more this will be easier for you, and then you can understand more about that subject. Okay, so maybe the revision after the class, you can say that you can do a revisions, or maybe you can do homework. So this is really helpful in order to make you more understand. And there is some research stated that when the students revise back what they have learned during 24 hours, this will increasing and also it can strengthen your memory. Okay, so you need to try it. I think that this will be help you to understand more about some subject.
Right. So this is actually a tricky tips, and I will do so and try to implement it at home. But actually, I have another problem. I encountered another problem where I tend to procrastinate in doing my work, like just as you mentioned before, like for the revision of the class to the mind map or whatever, those related things. So actually, our teachers have asked us to do a mind map after we finish our chapter. But it's just that I always procrastinate in doing those work, and I just don't know how to handle with it. Even though my parents always nagging at me, I will do the same. I will procrastinate more and more.
Okay, so you cannot do this anymore because all the things that your teacher asks you to do so give the benefits for you. Okay, so in order to prevent you from procrastinating your work, you need to have a to-do list, and you need to come together with the due date. So whenever you have this kind of to-do list, you will try your best to complete everything. Okay, so before this, I have experienced procrastinating my work during my diploma year. So I tend to be so stressed. It's all about I need to focus everything in one time. Okay, so then when I realize it, I do all my assignment before the due date according to the time that allocated by my lecturer. So I realized that when I do my work before the due date and I have a to-do list, my work become so I enjoy doing my work. So don't you think that when you're procrastinating your work, it will burden you and maybe it will make you lazy to do everything? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe I want to know, do you ever feel that kind of bored when you do a revision, or maybe when you do homework that already given by your lecturer, by your teachers?
Yes, miss, I have experienced this before.
So what kind of action do you take by having this problem? Or you just tend to close your book?
Yeah, I tend
And
to
leave
just close my book and leave it because I don't have people say that you need to have a mood whenever you want to draw works, right? So it's just that the study mood didn't appear, so I just do what I like to do.
Yes. like you will do all the unnecessary things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will give you some tips whenever you feel this kind of way, such as bored. Okay, like you bored doing anything, you need to make sure you have a short break. Okay, it's all about 5 to 10 minutes. You need to make sure it's not more than that, because our brain and our mind will just only tend to focus for about 1 hour and 1 hour and a half. Okay, so whenever you bored, for example, like you do a revision for about 1 hour, right? So when you feel that bored, you need to stop for a while, and maybe you listen to music, talk to your scrolling your phone, and maybe get some snacks. So this will make you to become more energetic to do your work. So please avoiding from doing something that require a long time, such as going out and maybe talking to your friends, because this will affect your willingness to do that kind of revisions. Okay, so maybe what do you think when you have this kind of short break? This will make you more enjoy doing that work, or what?
Yeah, I think I need to try it first, but from what you are talking about, it seems interesting to do so. And yeah, I will try my best to follow your advices, and I will always stop my work if I feel like I cannot concentrate anymore. Yeah, I will try to do and implement this at home, and I really hope that I can do so.
Okay, so related to that, your dream job is related to the science, right? So you need to remember the reason why you are here. You want to make your parents proud of you, right? And you need to make sure that this science subject is an important thing to you, because your dream job is related to science. So you need to make sure you put all the hard work in the study, and that it will not create such a big problem to you when you rethink and why you are here. You need to love this kind of subject. Okay, so like you already Form 3, right, this year. So next year will be your Form 4. And what do you think? You want to continue in what class? Maybe science stream, account, or art class?
I think I will further my study in science stream, since myself and also my parents dreams, like, yeah, it has been my dream since my childhood to pursue my dreams in science field, because my brothers and sisters are involved in this field. And yeah, it's actually a pressure for me since I have failed my science test before. So do you think I can pursue in this field?
Okay, so you think that you want to pursue your study in science stream, right? So I think this will not create a problem to you, because you're already interested in learning this kind of science subject, and you want to further your study because your dream job is all about related to the science, right? So all you need to do is that you need to put more hard work. You need to avoiding you from procrastinate your work. So if you implement these 2 factors, I can say that this will not create a problem to you, and then you can carry all the science subject. Okay, so you need to make sure that you put more hard work, you're not procrastinating your work. Okay?
Alright, thank you, Miss. Miss, I want to ask something.
Yes.
Actually, I always have a problem regarding not being able to divide my time between my study time and also my personal stuff. And I think that I have spent a lot of my time doing unnecessary things rather than spending my time to do my homeworks or to do a revision. And I think this is some factors that lead me to fail in my science test. So can I know how to divide time effectively so that this thing will not happen again in future.
Okay, so before that, I want to ask you, do you have any study timetable?
No. I just study whatever I want.
Okay, so actually you need to have the study timetable, and also you need to have the to-do list, same as I mentioned earlier. So whenever you have a to-do list come together with the due date and maybe the study timetable, you will study according to the time. Okay, so when the times of the study arrive, and then you need to study, you need to do revisions, and you need to ignore all the unnecessary things. Okay, so whenever you have the study timetable, you will study on time, right? So I think this will help you to give your times to study, to do all the personal matters. So you need to have the study timetable, and you need to follow it. Okay.
I will try my best.
Yes, you need to try it, because this is really effective way how to study.
So, can I know your opinion? Like, can you know how much time do I need to allocate it for study and also for my personal stuff?
Okay, so maybe if you think that you have a lot of work to do, maybe you require about 7 hours maybe to do that kind of subject. So maybe you think that this one subject is difficult, right? So maybe you need to focus more on this subject rather than another subject. So for example, like you study mathematics. So mathematics, you love mathematics so much, like about you spending 10 hours by learning mathematics. So you need to make sure that you learn this science subject same like you learn mathematics subject. Okay, so you need to make sure that the time allocated for the study is really like it will manage your time. Okay, so what do you feel right now? Do you feel better?
Alhamdulillah, I feel better right now, and I feel relief. I never experienced this feeling before. Like I really want to say thank you for your advice and for your tips in regarding my problems, because before I enter in this room, I feel really stressed and pressure thinking about my personal problems. Like I already told you about my problem, especially regarding my study, right?
Yes.
So after I have this individual counseling session with you, it's just that I can't wait to go home and implement all of these tips that you have given me.
Okay, so I'm glad to hear that, because I can see from your face before you like the early you enter this room, your face is so stressed, like you're having a lot of problems, right? But then when I see your face right now, I feel very happy, because I think that you can release all your problems to me. Okay,
Yeah,
you know who to share with your problems with, and I think that you need to know who is the person that you can share your problem. So maybe you can find someone that you are comfortable with, so this will be easier for you to share all your problems. Okay. So yeah, anything more?
Okay, Miss. Actually, I always thought that I always thought that student who always enter this counseling room is a problematic student.
Yes.
Am I right?
No, it's totally wrong. Okay, because the rules of the counselor is not just like solving the bad problems of the students, but then it's also to give an advice. Okay, so you need to make sure that you do not have any kinds of do not have like that kind of way of thinking. Okay, so yeah, anything else?
Alright, so I see, Miss. I come and I want to see you because, like I have told you before, actually my friend already shared a problem with you, and I can see that she looks better and calm before she have a session with you, and it looks like her problem has been solved. And it's why I decided to have an individual counselling with you today.
So it's not just about your friends ask you to do so, right?
No, it's my feeling.
Okay, so you need to remember all the things that I have mentioned earlier. You need to love the science subject as much as you love another subject. And maybe when you think that your parents mad at you, they ignoring you, maybe it's just all about your feelings. And maybe if you think that you cannot handle this anymore, you can discuss among them. Okay? So they mad at you because they love you.
Okay, Miss. May I know what is the time right now?
It's about 12 p.m.
Oh, okay, Miss. I think it's already near to my break time. So once again, thank you so much for giving me your advices and for those tips regarding the study to my problem. I really appreciate it, and now I can see that my motivation level has increased rather than before. Thank you once again, Miss, and Assalamualaikum.
Salam. So before that, can I ask you to sign this and just say what is your feedback before and also after you enter this hall?
Sure, Miss.
This will help me for the reference.
Alright. Right.
You need to make sure you share all the problems with the one who you're comfortable, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Miss.
Okay. Alright. So, anything else?
No, I have a good day. Thank you.
So I have something for you.
Oh.
This some biscuit for you.
Oh.
Can eat this, okay?
Alright, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
welcome.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.